Hi guys, welcome to another lecture, the second lecture of second module, that is types of lathe. See, I will just read out the different types of lathes that is available. That is a speed lathe, engine lathe or center lathe, bench lathe, tool room lathe, tracer lathe, automatic lathe, capstan and turret lathe, computer controlled lathe, and special purpose lathe. See, first one is speed lathe. As the name indicates, the lathe spindle, that is chuck of this lathe, can rotate up to a speed of 3600 rpm, or minimum rpm is 1200. The next one is engine lathe or center lathe. Actually, engine lathes, the word engine comes from the earlier types of lathe which use steam engines or IC engines to power the lathe. So that is engine lathe. The next one is bench lathe. Bench lathe is small lathes which can be mounted on a bench. And the next one is tool room lathe. See, tool room lathe is used to machine precision workpieces, or precision jobs have to be machined using tool room lathe. It may use a motor which can run up to 2500 rpm. The next one is tracer lathe. The tracer lathe is a lathe which can copy a template or model to a workpiece. That is, you can see in the screen, you can see two different models, and the model has a shape like this here. See, if you have a tracer lathe, you can just put the tracer on this model, and you can trace the same thing on the workpiece. So that can be used for copying or duplicating a model, like you can see the duplicating of keys, keyways, etc. So it uses the same principle of tracing. Next one is automatic lathe. See, automatic lathe is basically used for the production, increase the production numbers. That is, it is high speed, it is heavy duty, and it can be used for mass productions. And the changing of tools and feeds are done automatically. That is given prior to the starting of work. And the next one is machine repeats the cycles. That means if you have to do 100 number of jobs, say 100, and you have the same thing you have to machine each time, so you can just give 100 number of work pieces and just input the number is equal to 100. It will just machine 100 number of work pieces without the interference of a personnel. So that is automatic lathe. The next one is turret lathe. Actually, the name is capstan and turret. Capstan and turret. So in short form, it is called as turret lathe. See, turret lathe can handle multiple tools that is mounted on the tool post. See, a modern turret lathe can handle up to 6. See, the basic advantage of that is you can just save so much time by not changing the tool each time that is required. So that is turret lathe. And next one is computer control lathe. As you know, that is a basic lathe that comes with the principle of CNC. So CNC or computer control lathe are highly automated and it is very precise. So that is computer control lathe. And next one is special purpose lathe. The special purpose lathe, as the name indicates, it is just used for a special purpose job. That is, if you cannot do a work in a normal lathe, it is done in a special purpose lathe. That lathe will be used only for that purpose. If consider a reaming process, reaming process is only carried out in a special reamer lathe. So that is called special purpose lathe. Next one, lathe specifications. First of all, lathe specifications is the character of a machine by which we can go to the market and buy that machine. So for example, you have to buy a lathe. So what are the different types of jobs you have to make with that lathe, and what are the different types of work pieces that has to handled by the lathe, and the size and shape of the work pieces. These are the main factors that ensure the main factors that decide what type of lathe you have to buy. So there are 14 different factors which is considered for lathe specifications, but I will just want to make you know that the main specifications of lathe are as follows. That is, in the figure you can see the center height. The center height is the height from bed to the center line. The center line is the line that connects tailstock center and headstock center, that is live center and dead center. So that is R. See, this is R, and next one is C, that is length between centers. You can see the maximum length between centers is called as C, that is live center and dead center. This is the length of the workpiece that can be machined using this lathe. Then next one is swing diameter over bed. Swing diameter of over bed means, see, you can handle a job that has the diameter of R if there is an attachment in that workpiece. You consider it has an attachment like this. So the attachment has to be swung around the lathe such that the attachment will not hit the bed. So that is the maximum diameter over the bed. So that is called a swing diameter over bed. And the last one is length of bed. See, length of the bed is directly proportional to the length of the job that can be handled by this lathe. Other than that, you can see these are the main lathe specifications, that is height of the centers measured from lathe, swung diameter, length between centers, and swung diameter over carriage, and length of bed, and the bore diameter of the spindle, that spindle bore diameter, and width of bed, type of bed, pitch value of lead screw. See, there are so many works that has to be carried using a lathe. But in some cases, if the lead screw has to be bigger, or the screw pitch has to be lesser or greater than that is used in a normal conventional lathe, so you have to buy a lathe according to that specifications. So that is the pitch value of screw, and horsepower of the motor. See, in almost all the industrial lathe uses a 3-phase AC induction motor. So the horsepower value of the motor will decide the amount of force required to machine the or run the workpiece over it. So if high speed workpieces, high speed rotation has to be carried out, so we have to use the motors with higher horsepower. And next one is number of feet and range of spindle speeds. The range of spindle speeds means, see, consider the lathe that is we discussed on the first, that is speed lathe, that is the RPM will range from 1200 to 3200, that is the speed range. So in some times you have to change the spindle speeds according to the workpiece that has to be carried out. So that is the range of spindle speeds, and spindle nose diameter, and floor space required. That is the, if have to buy a lathe, first of all you have to know the amount of floor space, and the main thing is a person has to walk around the lathe, so that has to be also considered while planning the floor space for a lathe. So these are the main specifications of the lathe. So that is all for today. We will discuss the other things next day. Thank you.